I've always had a creative mind, but this strength has often been my weakness. There's so many things to do in the world, and I want to do it all. In the past, I've started a lot of projects, but rarely finished anything. I'd feel lost and depressed all the time because nothing was getting done. I knew I needed to organize and focus better. I just didn't know how. This is my box of dreams. Knowing what dreams I have was the first step to getting organized. A few of these dreams are to become a published author, run a successful business, and travel the world helping people. Some dreams are more important than others because everything else depends on them. I'm organized. I tell impactful stories. And with every thought and action, I invite joy into my life and the life of those around me. Every one of these dreams has visions, projects, goals, action steps, and a lot of notes. And I keep track of all these things in notebooks I call my book of thoughts. About 10 years ago, I came across a book called Ready for Anything by David Allen, and it changed the way I thought about my big dreams. David explained goal setting in a way that was simple but profound. In the last 10 years, I've read that book over 100 times. I'm still making changes to how I manage my stuff, but here's a brief explanation of what I know and how I manage everything. David explains there's two ways to plan. We can plan from the top down, listing what we want out of life and making plans to how to get it. Or we can plan from the bottom up, listing everything we've committed to do, then deciphering what they are and connecting them to dreams that we have. Once a week, I try to plan in one of these ways. In this video, I'll explain how I plan from the bottom up. I start by making a list. I call it an inbox page. I write everything that's on my mind, everything that I've committed to do that I have a hard time not thinking about. People call this a to-do list, but I don't like calling it a to-do list because half the things on it can't just be done. There's a lot of processing and breaking them down into action steps. After I write down everything that's on my mind, I need to take a break. It's very exhausting to do just this step. So in an hour or the next day or whenever I get back to the list, I'll ask 4 questions for each of the things on it. The first question is, what is it? What dream is this? And I place the pertaining dream symbol I've made next to the thing. And the next question is, what does done look like? On a separate page, I'll describe what done looks like. And I'm very detailed with my descriptions. I want to clearly visualize what done is. I want to see the very last step it takes to finish, and I describe that moment. For example, I wanted to publish a book, and done to me was submitting the manuscript to createspace.com and holding the book in my hands. The third question, what is the next action? If I were to work on this right now, what would I do? I add that action to the bottom of the list. My goal is to have this list be nothing but action steps and the little symbol indicating exactly what dream it is I'm working on. Number 4 is, when and where will I take action? If I need a reminder, I'll place it in a calendar or in a reminder app or in front of my door. The whole process can at times feel very overwhelming. I find it a lot like washing dishes. Just as I think I've gotten everything, more shows up in the sink. It's very frustrating. I do the best I can, and I trust if I did forget something, I'll catch it sometime during the week. It's important to keep perspective. I'm not trying to finish. I'm merely clearing the air so I can see my next steps. It's knowing what to do so I can be happy about what I'm doing. Throughout the week, more things are added to the list. When I have free time throughout my day, I'll spend a few minutes updating the list and asking the 4 questions. I plan because I want to be 100% present. The joys of life are always in the moment, and if I'm depressed about the past or worried about the future, I'm not experiencing the joys in this moment. Planning helps me let go of those worries so I can feel the joy that's always around me. And that's it. That's how I plan from the bottom up, at least. In my next video, I'll explain how I plan from the top down, starting with my big dreams and breaking them into action steps. I'll post that soon-ish, so definitely subscribe, click the bell so you can be notified when the next videos come out. And that's it. Cheers.